It is Tuesday, and once again, we are in Final Fantasy XI. Hello, everybody. I'm Jed the Freelance, and we are back in Vana'diel. So, I did the first thing that I've done in a long time. I promoted my channel a little bit in some Discords. And I haven't done that in like a couple of months, so we'll see if anybody jumps in. If not, who knows? Anyway, so today we are going to jump back into Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. I have leveled up and gotten going with a bunch of other stuff that we have here. Let me look up where we need to go right now. Let me see. Okay, so the last time we were working on Rhapsodies, we had encountered Siren, who is a new summon that we have not seen. She is a new astral form, and she's been telling about us this evil presence that's been showing up. This kind of this weird masked figure that's shown up and has been causing issues. There's this bell that keeps ringing or something. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, we stopped when we last got to there because we actually couldn't continue because the fight was going to be too hard and I was just going to lose. So, in the time since then, I have leveled up my character up to level 90. And also from last night, we did a little bit of playing last night, I have also figured out the glamour system. So, we're back in my Red Mage Regalia, and we are going to figure out, let's see, we need to go to South Sandoria. So, we are now going to work our way back out to where we were and continue on with that as far as we can. I don't know how far we're going to go, but we're going to see. Give me a second here. I need to rearrange some files, some web browser pages here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do So, but congrats. So, good job, Slow Stoked. So glad to see you get that done. Okay, so now we're in South Sandoria. We're gonna make a warp. Let's see, where would we go to first? We need to go to we need to warp our way out there. So we need to go to North Sandoria to the book. So I've been making some progress on my own, just kind of leveling. Leveling gets slow at this point. The leveling at 90, at 85 to 90 something, it feels like what it used to feel like going like from 50 to 60. It takes a long time. Anyway, run over to our survival book, and we're gonna warp ourselves out to Utunga Jungle. Okay, that is in El Shimolo. Yes, here we are. Go ahead and warp ourselves out there. Now, for this fight, I have been forewarned not to use Shantoto, because apparently wind and light heal the boss, which I find a little of an interesting combination, but not totally, crazy. So, go ahead and hop down, because nothing's going to attack me here. I need to go this way? I went in the wrong direction. And it is nighttime. It is 0:30 dark right now. This is so weird. Every time I get into the game, it always seems to be like lightning day or something, and then it goes into light day and then dark day. And I don't have end levels for those. I don't have end spells for those. So annoying. Anyway, I'm ready to make some progress. Okay, so this is our boss battle here. So I need to pick my trusts out and get prepped up and ready to go. So, let's see here. Trusts. Ooh, okay, so of course we're pulling out Vulnerable. We need to get out. Now, I normally would pull out Koopa Fruit, but we're not going to need that this time. I'm going to grab a Pururu. It's going to be our healer. We need to have a secondary healer. We probably will pull out... Ooh... I don't know. I've gotten really used to using Agito Marijo. So we'll probably do that. Our attacker. Ooh. I guess that Latada is good. Okay, so now we have these people. Let's go ahead and buff ourselves. I want to be ready for this fight. Let's see, am I still holding the symbol of gear that I needed? Yeah, let's change that. I can't wait to get to level 90 where I can actually get some good rings. All the rings I've gotten are like good up to like level 50, and then nothing. So it gets a little annoying. Okay, we're gonna go to the Mog Wardrobe. We're gonna pull out our Lapis Lazuli ring. Let's see. Everything's good otherwise. That's right, we need to go to abilities. Composure. Then we'll start. Cast to refresh. I'm actually going to cast... Well, no, I don't think I need to do that quite yet. Refresh. And haste. We'll get our mage buffs up. I don't do those very often. I forget to keep refreshing them. At times. Okay. Oh, Slow Stoke is gonna go watch One Piece. Okay, and that is our spells there. Siren, I don't know if I put any kind of, I don't know what kind of defenses I put up. Definitely gonna put Phalanx on myself, because I would like to take less damage. And then because it's Lightning Day, we will put on our Thunder spell. Yeah, I don't know what kind of spells Siren's gonna cast, so I hope it's not. Let's see. Make sure to find a way to remove silence. Ooh, boy. Okay. Okay, so we need to put some kind of a magic silence protection on. So. Okay. Silence, Ra. Okay. Okay. I think we're ready to go. Let's see. This is going to be probably the hardest fight that I've done in the game in a long time. There she is. One of my shadows takes it. Good. Jump in. Okay. What do you do? Distract? Actually, you know what? I really should do Saboteur. And then cast Distract. Make sure I can make this land. See if we can do Paralyze. Okay, there's that lunatic voice. Okay, so, unfortunately, we're all silenced for a second. 20 seconds, okay. See how this goes. I don't know how well this is going to go. Ooh. I hope it goes okay. Purple blade. Okay, we're all silenced again. Oy. Okay, we need to put a couple of spells up. Ooh! A little bit of damage there. Not bad. Okay, we do need to put our refresh, our regen onto everything else, then he can kind of stay healthy. Put our magic back up. Good. Moment here. Oh, we got a bust. Oh, Quatada, how dare you? That blade only did 321. That's a little disconcerting. This fight is not doing too bad, actually. We're all still fairly healthy. We're missing some MP, but on Vegito. I probably should have brought a melee attacker, somebody who was who would use a spear, probably. Okay, we're no longer muted. Is there anything that's going to go down? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Tyron uses Entice. It doesn't work on Trust, thankfully, because that's a charm ability. Hysteric Assault. Ugh. So Siren in the past has always been a... Whenever she's been a summon, she has always done a status effect of some sort. I think it's sleep for the most part. She either puts enemies to sleep or she does some kind of debuff, like makes they're less accurate, or I think there's a couple occasions where she actually does charm. She actually does the charm ability. So she makes the enemies will attack each other. That enemies will attack for you, basically. Oh, got Cision. Nice. Okay, I'm going to lose my refresh here in a minute, so... See if I can get this off before she does Lunatic Voice. Nope, no chance. Okay, that will last until Lunatic wears off, though. I do like the design of Siren. It looks too, it looks a little too much like Garuda, though. Okay, need to cast Refresh on myself. Cut that off, good. Oh, and we're muted again. Good, I got that off just in the nick of time. Now, if I remember correctly, if you yourself get charmed, all your trusts go away because you don't have it. You are no longer in control. So I want to stay behind her. Now, one of the big reasons why I'm wanting to do this is because, one, it'll give me some nice stuff, but it'll actually give me my 5th trust, so I can have a full party, which will be nice. And I'll get more XP and XP boost, which will be humongous. So okay. my Phalanx ability has been staying up, which is great. Well, let's get my haste off. It, of course, does. That she's doing the hysteric attack, so now I have haste again. Good. So the silence thing did squat, but I still get silenced. But maybe it's a reduced amount. I don't know. Let's distract again before she can get off. Before she can mute us again. Now, I don't remember in this game if debuff resistance is a thing. I know in some games, if you keep doing something over and over, some kind of like a status effect, it will slowly do less and it'll be less effective over time. There we go. Got another Scission off. Okay, we're making good time. Slowly but surely, we've been getting there. Okay. Sonic Buffet. Knockback. Okay, interesting. Now, it could have been far worse. She could have given me something like Paralyze or Amnesia or something like that. Thankfully, not. I don't even remember where you get Amnesia before. I think you get that somewhere out in the Otter Gone regions, I want to say. I don't remember Amnesia because I went and got the bar Amnesia for the Wipe Mage spell. Okay, defeated Siren. And it looks like she's still there. Okay, cutscene. So she curls up kind of like Garuda. Oh yeah, that's right. Zed had been kind of caught in a vine trap that she had summoned. Oh, yes. See, this is the guy before. Volto Oscuro. We actually have a name to this guy now. It's over, Siren. Jesus! Maybe that will not be the last we see of that thing. I think my charms turned against me. I thank you, Jenna. Should it be called a future if there is not left in existence? I'm unfit to call myself a higher power when I'm unable to act of my own accord, to come to the forces that threaten our land. That creature appeared before me and sunk its teeth into my very soul. What is it? If you call yourself a higher power, does that mean this one is higher still? My pious sense pales in comparison. It took me to a future, a bleak future, where my wings flutter despite myself, carrying me upon the wind. It called itself the Ambassador of the Void, yet I cannot tell from whence it came, nor why it chose to appear before me. Nor can I fathom whether or not it was acting of its own volition. This ambassador is likely from the future, as Ira alluded to. But can I ascertain where it might strike next? Yet its power is palpable, Be on your guard, Jeneth. My companion's words ring true. Threats of fate doth tie thee together with the abomination. And with the girl as well. But she is gone. Do not give into trepidation. She will appear before you once more when all seems lost. Blessing enveloping her ensures it. I shall lend you my power should you swear to protect this land. You swear to watch over our world, our Vana'diel. Swear to protect Vana'diel. Yes. Let your communion with nature reverberate throughout the sky and sea. You shall always remain true in the depths of your heart. So I think Siren becomes a summon. You are blessed to have a Siren be your protector. Ensure that Sea Circuit Grotto remains safe and Norg accessible to all. I shall go on ahead and report to Gilgamesh. Join me once you have finished your tasks here. That's right, we ran out there because all the boats had started spinning in perpetuity, and then we ran into... Okay, so we got the Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. Now, what did that give us? That is the... That gives us a bunch of things. So, 30% bonus to experience and limit point gains. Sweet. So now we have 60 points, I think. We go to key items. That gives us 30% bonus to Unity accolade gains. So that's good. Battle content removes lockout on re-entering Dynamis. Assault, reduced refresh rate of the tags to 10 minutes, or whatever it was before. Salvage reduces the time of purchasing the permits to 1 hour. Ironheart reduces price to smoldering lamps to 1,000 gil, as opposed to like 10,000 or 100,000 probably. Reduces lookout on entering Ironheart to 1 hour. Removes maximum amount of soul plates Sunrock will accept in a day. And that's for pancreation. That's a way off topic side content that you can do. And then reduction of price to the Silco Moon Salt, Silver Sea Salt, and Cyan Deep Salt for ZNMs. I don't remember what these are. Zenny Notorious Monsters? And they're in Autogon. Okay. So that releases a lot of stuff. There's additional items that are at the Curio Googles. Okay. And the new items in Elixir, you can get a Razor. Oh, cool. Nice. They've added some munitions. They've added food. Okay, so now you can get a Chovy Slice, Ginger Cookies, Alcena, and Poultry Pitaru. And there's an instant retrace. What's retrace do? I'm trying to remember. Retrace. Yeah, it takes the user back to their allegiance in the past. So Warp takes you to your home point. Retrace takes you to your nation that you're allied with in Wings of the Goddess. So you don't have to go find a Cavern Small, I believe. Okay, so now what we're going to do... Hop on our mount with its boisterous little tune. We're going to enter Sea Serpent Grotto and run back to Norg. Shouldn't take me too long to get there. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so that fight actually went pretty well. It was not too bad. Because I had enough characters that have an innate refresh ability, so we didn't run out of MP. So when we did get to casting spells again, we were able to just heal whatever damage that they took away. Oh, I'll make sure that I grab this book. Oh, that's a that's a groundstone. Never mind. The book was up higher in the thing, so. Alright, I'm gonna sneeze in a second here. Pardon me. Ugh. Run over here. Okay. Now let's see here. I think that put me into the wrong spot. And then we need to put ourselves back into the right location. Whoop. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, did I close out the page? I might have closed it out. Shoot. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, we're back. It looks like we're going to get a new cipher as well. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Gilgamesh and see what we can continue on with here. Beats here told you about how you resolved our little problem. Turns me that Ira wasn't the only one who came from the future. Perhaps she'd be able to answer some of our questions, if she was still there. But Aldo may have found someone who could help us anyway. Isn't that right? Managed to find someone familiar with Risenjima Sanctorum. Have you made acquaintance with one known as Tenzin? I actually have not met Tenzin yet, so no. Let me see. I scarce need to remind you that he is a warrior hailing from the Far East. Now, we all know Tenzin from Chains of Promathia, as well as he was briefly mentioned in 14 for the Stormblood 8-man raids, which were the Four Lords. This is that character, and we will see him far further in the future. So, some time ago, he appeared in Juneau to appeal for aid to the Duke Vicarius. Something about an emptiness threatening to consume his homeland. This emptiness thing of his surely must be some connection to the future Ira was on about. Indeed. Remember that siren mentioned a future without time? Back to this Tenzin. Where is he? He journeyed throughout the Middle Lands, but he couldn't tell me anymore. Maybe my men put out healers. Good work, Aldo. See what you can find out. Even if we succeed in finding him, Jez, we can't be sure he'll have any answers. But we won't know until we find him. In the interim, I will keep learning what I can about our imposter Zita. There's a little of a trifle from Juno. It'd help if you find answers. Answers you will need now more than ever. So now we got that. Okay, next mission. Fixing around here. These things are a little annoying to me That's better. Okay. I think we talked to him again. Talk to the oaken door again. So here's Tenzin. Gilgamesh, I'm afraid the rumors are true. Another rift has split the ground in Mizrik's coast in twain. And it's the same deal as with Cliffham Island? This place a lot of you keep referring to as Esha? Damned ambassador of the void. He better not show his face around here in Norg. It's right to Davy Jones' locker with him. Oh, of his and Jedith. Our friend from the Far East has stopped to pay his regards. I am Tenzin, a humble warrior with roots planted firmly in the Far East. May our meeting bear fruit. I shall be brief. Word reached me that a priestess from Rhapsodies Sanctorum has caused us to step foot here in the Middle Lands, and I came to pay my respects. I arrived here only to find that she's gone missing. Dad, I suppose you haven't bumped into Ira? Ira, magnificent name, and I trust with a character to match. You happen to know anything about her? Because she sure threw the lot of us for quite the loop. I've extensively questioned those in Rhapsodies, but to a man, shook their head at each inquiry. Of course, if your story is true and she's not yet been born, then such a conclusion is foregone. Lord Jedith, permit me to examine the orb she bequeathed unto you. And here's our magical doodad. Intriguing. Yes, it bears the marks of Rising Jima Sanctorium. What? Blazes? Calm yourself, Aldo. She's with our guest. Magic ninja powers! Woo-hoo-hoo. This orb connects the bearer with a higher power. I'm supposed to play its true form only to those who open up their hearts to it. Delkfoot's Tower. You look confused. My companion is intimately connected with the outlying isle that Rising Jima Sanctorium calls home. Assertions that the orb is authentic is proof enough. As such, I'm inclined to believe this Ira's story about being from the future. I gotta admit, when I saw the little lady flopping about on that rickety vessel, I wondered if the brine had clogged up that skull of hers. But then we learned she wasn't the only one from the first year. Then there were others? None in the Far East bear any ill will towards the priests of Rising Jima Sanctorium. Only the purest chosen by the Emperor are allowed to alight on the isle housing Rising Jima Sanctorium, for it was created by the gods themselves. Any who would lift a blade in anger against such souls are unworthy of being called human. And should not be surprised that I learned that our foe isn't human at all. Darkness is at his beck and call, and he can create entire worlds devoid of all color. See? Then I must meet with Lady Ira and find this sinister force that came after her. Where should I begin my search? Well, I'm at a loss. Perhaps it's something to do with Kagura said, some relation with the higher power. I must first make for Juno to collect what information I can and handle some unfinished business. And we've got all the clues we need. I shall report back with anything I'm able to find. I think it's best if you catch a lot in with Tenzin. Maybe he'll be able to figure out how to save the future when he gets to meet with Iroha. Iroha. I don't know how to say her name. Iroha? That's what my gut is telling me anyway, and a pirate's intuition is never wrong. Except all the other times that you won't talk about. Okay, so had that passed? Okay. Okay, spirits awoken. Okay, so we need to go to Lower Delkfoot's Tower. Looks like there's some parts of Chains of Vana'diel that can interfere with this, but I haven't started it. So, we shouldn't have any issues. Survival guide. We want to teleport right to Quiffum Island. Quiffum? It's funny that it's called Quiffum Island. It doesn't feel like an island. It feels like it's connected still. I guess it's an underwater tunnel that brings you to Quiffum. So I guess it is an island. Doesn't feel like it, though. Anyway. Go ahead and do a little warp. Okay, and cutscene. Ah, here she is. She's back. Master. Are you alright? It is nothing. I needed a few days of respite. Pray was the orb that led you here. For a brief moment I feared that we would not meet again in this world. I've learned of all the energies of the mother crystals converge upon this very tower. And that is why I have come. See if I might be able to borrow but a fraction so that we may set things right. The crystal, it murmured something to me. The chains of Promathia. Perhaps there's another trial for you to overcome. I ask you, please do as the crystal bids. And every door you open is another meeting that could decide the fate of Vana'diel. I'd like you to meet Tenzin. You wish me to be a man named Tenzin from the Far East? I should not be so taken back. It's only natural for my path to cross with his in this era. Of course, I am instantly familiar with Sir Tenzin. He was the one who strongly insisted that I train under you and learn all that I can. So it shall be. But before that can happen, you must pass the trial set before you in the chains of Promathia. Recall what happened between you and Lion. The flow of even the mightiest river can be altered with a single stone. The appearance of new rifts in Vana'diel has surely not escaped your notice. I feel it prudent to examine them for myself, with your leave. Okay. Okay, so I actually can't go anywhere. I actually have to progress up 2 chains of Promathia. So, yeah, we're not going to be continuing on. However, we did get some bonus from that, so I got more things I can get from the Curio Moogles. I got some more experience and stuff like that, so we can continue on. Now, let's see. We probably should jump into the Rise of Zilart and get into that. Because the Nation mission stuff can kind of wait, and we did have kind of a stopping point. So, quick refresher on what we were doing there is that we ended up defeating the Shadow Lord, and then came back, and they were talking about and then there was a focus of wanting to get back Santoria into its glory. So it was like finding the royal treasury or something like that. The treasury of King Grampar. So I don't know what that's going to entail, but we will come back to that at some point. If we get stymied on something, we can go do that for a stream. I do want to finish that stuff up because at some point we will change nations and we can go do Bastok stuff and then we can go do Windurst and kind of work our way through those. For the time being, I think we need to start up Rise of the Zilart. So let me go ahead and pull that up. And we will get that going. Let's see. Guess what we can do is just do a fresh page here. Okay, so we'll go ahead, head back to Norg, and we will start this up. Located near the home point, Norg, to resume the story. Okay, so that is what we will do for the time being, because we cannot continue onward from there. So let me go ahead and tile those. Okay, we'll chat back up. Okay, here we go. So we're going to warp back to Norg, so El Shmalo. So starting the mission is that you had to make your way to Norg. So originally you had to go and buy a Kazam pass, which was like, I think it was yeah, because a Kazam airship trap, which is not the same as the airship pass we had when we did which is not the same thing when we got the air pass to the nations. Kazam is its own entity. But we don't have to do that because we actually moved its way here. So, because we were able to get here through Rhapsodies. So, we're kind of sidestepping the way that you normally would get here, but that's okay. I intend to try and get absolutely everything that I can in the game done. So, we are going to now do Rise of the Zilart and keep going on with that. Now, at some point, we will unlock more jobs, and I will actually start leveling jobs. I'm strongly thinking of doing Samurai as my next job to level up. We do have to unlock it, though. I believe it starts here in Norg, though. So, and then I will level that up until it gets kind of to where we need it to be, and then we'll have it take over for the main job, because Red Mage is not going to be the job I take to full gear, because it is a pain and a half, apparently. Okay, so... Oh, that's right. I actually have to go talk to the book to start up the Rise of the Zilart stuff. So all the missions, bar Abyssia, I have postponed. So then we didn't have to rewatch the cutscene somewhere else. So where's that Tales book? There, it's the glowing book. Okay, so this cutscene triggers when you enter Norg normally. So. Looks like we've gotten a little attention for actually walking into Norg. Hold it right there, buddy. This ain't no cafe. What business do you have here? You finally made it, Jeth. Hi, Lion. Probably my favorite of the girls. Lion! Don't have to worry about Jeth. He's okay. Anyway, I thought you guys welcomed adventurers. Understood. Thank you, Kukuetsu. Well, for starters, I should welcome you to Norg. However, as much as I'd like to sit down and talk about old times over a bottle of 813 Rowanberry, we must first face the new problem with Camlino. You don't remember what happened to Castle Zavala? What? Are you all right? Okay, I'm going into a coma. Ah! It all began with a stone, or so the legend says. So, back previously, when we beat the Shadow Lord, we found out it was Raugrim, who was part of the original expedition to the Northlands, who got stabbed by Ulrich and lost his life along with Cornelia. We then left, and it seemed like the Shadow Lord had tried to take over again and self-ruptured, more or less. And then we got credits, while we ran out. In ages past, a sentient jewel, enormous and beautiful, banished the darkness. Its many-colored light filled the world with life and brought forth mighty gods. Bathed in that light, the world entered an age of bliss until after time the gods fell into slumber. That world was called Vana'diel. The legend goes on to say, from the darkest depths of the earth, the warriors of the crystal rose. So this is the end bit. Finding Raugrim after we fought. And I've done this dialogue in a previous stream, so if you really want to hear me read it, that's in a previous one. So I have fallen. Okay, and these two show up apparently, and this was something that happened in the new part. Remember, when the game originally released in Japan back in 2000, it just went to the Shadow Lord. Once you did that, you beat the game, more or less, at level 50. This is Rise of the Zilart, the first expansion, and it came to America with the launch in 2002. So that's why they brought that back, because it's like, it's been a couple years since the end of the game actually was available. This is the new part to kind of bring people up to speed. Quite an interesting show you put on. I don't know. I've used with a little bit more excitement. Galka can never do anything right. Archduke of Juno, and what are the two of you doing here? We came to reap the seeds that we have sown. You performed your duty well, as ignorant as you are. I can see you still have a little bit more cleaning up to do, but that won't be a problem. What are you going to do? What are you going on about? Give us some answers. Listen carefully, you sorry excuse for sentient beings. Crystalline will soon be revived, and the gate of the gods will open. That is when the true Vana'diel of legend will be reborn. Eternal paradise, the land of the gods, the dream we Zilart have held for 10,000 years is about to become a reality. Zilart, you can't be. That civilization perished thousands of years ago. Great Bane will devour the fair land of Vana'diel. The ancient seal will be broken, awakening nightmares of ages past. The blood of innocence will soak the earth, and the world will fall into fear and despair. Galka, Humes, Beastmen, no life on this planet has any purpose or meaning. Like I told you before, we will not be handing over Vana'diel to anyone. This is our world. Yes, I no longer sense the impurities that were blocking the power that lies deep within Vana'diel. The noise has gone. Simply defeating him 20 years ago did not silence the noise. We ran into a snag. We were unable to release him from the crystals with our power alone. However, with the Tailkeeper, we had what we needed. There was no need to go into the details of that here. Wait, I can hear them. I can hear the 5 life forces. I can hear them approaching, minions of the crystal. But as one bright star shines through the clouds of night, and as one song rings clear above the roar of beasts, we hold to one hope that these darkest of times. This world is nothing but a grave, and you are the maggots that squirm through the rotting corpse. It is time to put an end to Vana'diel as it is now. Hear us, we sing the song of hope, and your requiem. So many twisting camera motions. That they will come with the wisdom of ages and the strength of thousands. to deliver us from our plight. We wait the awakening of the warriors of the crystal. Come forth, warriors of the crystal, and cleanse this world of the filth that plagues it. Oh, my protect came off just at the right time. Ah. Here are the archangels. The 5 embodiments of the races. Warriors of the crystal? Ooh, gosh. Farewell, lowly vermin. Your time is up. This is the beginning of the end. Finish them, warriors of the crystal. Seed, are you all right? Ugh, don't underestimate them. Their power is immeasurable. Ah! No! Jeneth! Remember, at this time, you would be level 50 or so. So story-wise, I actually just got clocked. Stop! You have to be crazy to stay any longer. We've got to get you out of here. Lion? Going right at Zeed. I think Ralgrim took the hit. Yep, he did. Ralgrim? Still short energy from this land. If I can concentrate it for one last time, I may be able to slow them down. Ralgrim. There's no salvation for me. The Ralgrim who you once knew is gone gone forever. Expect no forgiveness for what I have done, but don't let them have Vana'diel. Now go! So now we're showing that we're like running out. Come on, this way, hurry. Door closes. This is the bit that we didn't see before. Just interesting. One does not need to be a prophet to foresee the outcome of this battle. However, I do not fear death. So he's resummoning the Shadow Lord, I think. Yep. So 3 of them warp. Oh, but then they warp around him. Okay, interesting. Usato, please come on in. My true self died 30 years ago. All that remains is an empty shell. Cornelia, finally, we may meet again. Hey, Jeth, are you alright? Mean you had forgotten what had happened in Castle's Vale? You must have lost your memory from the overwhelming shock of the whole experience. And the literal shock I took to my jest. Whew. By the looks of you, everything else seems to be working. See that staircase over there? When you're feeling a little better, walk up those stairs and come to the room at the end of the hallway. Ooh, nice camera flow. Woo! Somebody there I'd like you to meet. I'll go there first and tell them that you're coming. See you again. Somebody made a miss. I had to make a bread pun. They misspelled bed with bread, so what's the carbs, my lord? It's the Easter. Didn't spell them, I said the, but I think they got the gist. Okay, so now we're in here, and we magically are meeting Gilgamesh for the first time. Oh, and Kamul. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize if he was there before or not. Welcome to Norg. I'm Gilgamesh, the leader of these scallywags. Your daughters filled me in on your tale. I had my suspicions about Juno for years. That's why I had Lion investigating these past months. Blimey, I had no idea the Archduke and his wee brother were Zilart. Ancient civilization perished so long ago, there'd be no record of it. And who beat the 5 warriors of the crystal? They really are the warriors the legend speaks of. Does this mean that the bane of the song sings of is us? We will cause the blood of incense to soak the earth. We will cause the world to fall into fear and despair. So we are the plague that the warriors of the crystal have come to cure? I know nothing about no crystal warriors or ancient legends, but I do know I'm not going to sit around waiting for the Zilart to take over the world. Cleanse the world, beginning of the end? That's a lot of fancy talk. See what I say in front of yours truly. I'm not running away from no fight. How do we stop Camelot's plan? We're setting out for the Temple of Uglpai. Temple of Uglpai? I don't know how that's worded. I don't know how that's said, but while not ancient as Fei Ying, I do know some of the old ruins of the Temple of Uglpai, beyond the Yotunga jungle. I think it's in Yoder jungle, actually, which is in El Shamo High. Years ago, I journeyed there, thinking some booty had to be hidden in a place so ancient. That's where I met up with this strange old woman. Are the ancient spirits still in slumber? Come again when the minions wake. And then she vanished into thin air. I don't know what to make of it then, but I never thought it would be something big like this. Sure, that old lady must know what's going on. Jeth, I want you to travel to the Temple of Uglpai and find her. Before you go, stop and go see the chieftainess in Kazam. Tell her I sent you. She may be of some help. No one's going to believe such a crazy story. We're going to need to work ourselves out on this one. For ourselves to work on this one. I believe... Aldo, how long's it been? What brings you all the way out here? Lion, Gilgamesh, it's Verena. She's disappeared. Oh, why would she go anywhere now? I have a bad feeling about this. So Verena is his sister, and we met her. We met her when we went to Castle Ostrija the first time, where her goblin friend ended up dying. It may have something to do with Camelot's plan. I'll help you look for her, Aldo. If anything happened to Verena... No, Lion, I have another job for you. What? Lion, I appreciate your words, but let me gather some information around Juno first. Just knowing that Camelot is up to no good is a start. If I find out anything new, you'll be the first to know. Looking so swanky with that shoulder cloak and everything. Okay. We got to welcome to Norg. Okay. Depending on time, you may see the cutscene with Ira for a different mission. Didn't see that. Okay, the thing with Gilgamesh. Okay, go to Kazam and speak with Joka Wakandalo. He'll give you a sacrificial chamber key, which is required to progress further. Okay. Now, I have not been to Kazam yet. The closest I've been is that outpost out there in the jungle. So, we're going to have to make a trip. And for the most part, I will have to go get the Kazam airship pass another time. But it's just faster to warp, so I'll do that at some point. Because it's part of a quest, I think. So, we don't want to do that. I want to talk to you. Okay. Now, we want to warp to El Shimalo. Yotunga Jungle, yes. I have not been to Kazam in a long time, honestly. This will be interesting. So Kazam is all the way up through these... So you kind of have to find your way, a path upwards through everything and get there. So... And then at some point, we'll have to go to Ifrit's Cauldron and all those other places. So, let's go ahead and get our mount up. Nope, still not made a macro for mounts, but not a humongous deal in my mind. All right, let's see. Now remember, back in the day, when you went out here, you came out by Chocobo. Or you walked. Teleports were not that common, and you could only get out to the outpost every so often. See if I can make my way to Kazam without losing my way too bad. This is where you'd run into young Opu Opus and the ever-present goblins. Yeah, see these little monkey guys? Big eyes. Oh, what is that? Locking point. Okay. Oh, and if you were unlucky, you ran into an overgrown rose, which is a Malboro type enemy. It has bad breath and stuff like that. That's going back on itself. Back when I played this game, I had no magical... I didn't have many of the maps because they were expensive. Money was hard to come by. Had the money been more easily was more easily available, I would have gotten maps and stuff like that because you just keep using maps over and over. Look, see, there we go. I'm going backwards on myself again. and it was very interesting back then because, ivory lizards. Yep, I remember them. So you'd have people who come out to parties and stuff. There was 2 places that you probably went to. You either went to the outpost, which was not as common, or you stayed out, just outside of Kazan, just outside of the town, and fought stuff there. I think there was also a place in the jungle you could go to, but I only remember going there once. Parties back then were hard because a lot of times you had to level sync down to somebody's level. If everybody got higher than the camp you were at, you either had to quit the group, or if everybody still wanted to stick together because of how well it did, you had to go find a new farming spot, which was always different. See, people would do it right out here, kind of by this gate in this little tunnel here, more or less. And you'd go pull stuff. And if somebody got a goblin, you just all ran for town because you couldn't fight the thing. Level 25-ish was kind of... 23 to 25, I think, was kind of the prime level for this area. Anyway, we are now in Kazam. So now, we're going to get our home point here. Oh, and we got a new bit of music. First time getting this music. Oh my gosh. I barely remember Kazam, but it's all just kind of flooding back to me now. So, a little bit of world building. Kazam is mainly Mithra. That's mainly who's here. You can find a group of Mithra who live in Windurst, because Windurst is technically the closest place to the to Elshamo Islands. I try to remember if the Mithra are actually native to the Elshamo Islands, or if this is just kind of like a colony of them. See, and there goes the airship. Okay, now, there we go. Okay, so we need to go back into the region. I don't remember a whole lot that you did in Kazam by itself. I know there's probably quests here and things, but nothing really came to mind. You didn't buy anything here because everything was expensive, and like I said, gil was hard to come by. It looks like the home point is taking us next to the chieftain's house, maybe. Just an odd place to put. You would think the middle of town would have been better, but oh well. Yay, we got a new home point. And there's domestic Opos around. Opo! And then there's one hidden behind there. I don't know why it's back there. Anyway, here's the chieftain. Here's the chieftainess. So Gilgamesh has asked me to let him pass through the temple of Yugalapai, huh? See, the old luck hasn't changed a bit. Have you never heard the tales of Yugalapai? You even know what you'll be getting yourself into? Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Here, take this. It opens that door that leads to deeper parts of the temple. Have fun. Okay, so we've now gotten there. Now, I think I actually need to look up a magical map location because I can't remember if I have the maps here. I'd like to say I do, but I'm not sure. Let's go into my key items, my maps. So if I don't have a temple, I am going to be absolutely lost. I do have the temple. I think I went and got all the stuff that is, there's all of, like, the main area of... So I didn't get anything in the past, I didn't get anything in Ottergon, and I didn't get a lot of the areas in... that are introduced later in, like, Chains of Promathia stuff. Places I don't recognize. But everything in the original American release, I believe I got all those maps. So, okay, so now we need to head. Okay. Having a significant amount of rancor will be harmful. The mission requires you to combat several tombears, including notorious monsters. It will use the ability everybody's rancor for a great amount of damage. Rancor can be lowered with the quest Everyone's Grudge located in North. Consider completing this before proceeding. So, I'm going to avoid gaining rancor by calling for help as well. Okay, so we're going to head to the Den of Rancor as well, which I think is underneath the temple, I'd like to say. It's going to be a mess. Yeah, this is going to be kind of lousy. We're going to have to figure this out. Use the home point, open the door for you, allowing you to skip the puzzle entirely. Use the Unity Warp to reach the door if you're using this method. Okay. So, this is a mechanic that tomberries have had forever. The more tomberries you kill, the more they do damage to you. So, and it usually results in you having to fight a really nasty big tomberry. Is it the King Tomberry? I can't remember what they're normally called. I know in 16 you fight a prince or something, and he's wielding a giant knife like this giant knife. We have not run into Tomberries. They're another beastman, so we'll have to do that. We do have the quest, Everybody's Grudge, which I think you have to go get like a paintbrush or something. What is it? You have to do something weird in Norg. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about doing that. Okay. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so originally you had to go do the quest over and over again. It looks like they took the key and made it a key item, so you can just go do it whenever. You originally actually had to go got a key that went away at some point, so... Okay. So I will do that at some point, going to get that Tomberry key. We're not going to worry about it today. Considering how high level I am, I'm not going to assume we're going to have issues here, so we're not going to worry about that. But that's nice to know that that's been updated, because that was always a pain. Because there are times when you have to come back to the temple for I think summoner quests and for treasure coffers. So you had to fight Tomberries at some point. Okay. Nice to know that got changed. Okay. So I would like to, so even though I could warp there by a Unity stuff, I actually want to make the trip by myself and actually make it into Yoder Jungle and stuff like that, because I need to visit all the maps at least once to be able to unlock the Record of Eminence objectives for them. So, while we normally could warp, I am actually going to run there. I'm actually going to hop on a mount, and we're going to make our way through the jungles. So we're probably going to be stuck in this for the rest of the stream, if my luck holds. I'm hoping that isn't the case, but it might be just that bad. Who knows? Okay, so we need to travel to the... Okay, so I kind of know where we need to go now. So, head down this way. I think what was worst about this area is that if you were not careful, you fell down one of the holes that led to an underground trail, and then you had to go find your way how to get back up. And you usually were the same level as everything here, so everything attacked you. I'm so glad this game is not nearly as bad as it once was. Not nearly as horrible. Oh, did I get stuck? Okay, I have gotten stuck. I need to travel back the way we came. See? This is what I mean. Issues where we get caught up where we were before. We actually don't go this way, because this way gets us out from underneath. We need to go over, so we actually need to go this direction. I don't think it was in this area specifically that had... Well, I think there was one hole. They might have patched it, because it looks like there weren't any holes there when I just ran past, and they aren't on the map, which is updated. So... Traveling through the jungles was never fun. It always was a hassle. I'm going to take a left. Hang on a second. Yes, but we don't want to go down the hole. We want to find another tunnel to travel through. Taking the left. Huh? Now we're on top of where, out of here, the top of where we were. Hold the right wall. Get into this tunnel. Okay, I'm gonna take a left here. When in doubt, use the first entrance. Because there's 4 entrances into the Zilart jungle, they kind of all lead to different regions. Okay, stepping into here. Okay, into Yotor jungle. And Yotor is very much the same, except everything here is bigger, I think. Okay, so we have a couple things we need to do. We have a book, which is near the temple. Looks like there's multiple entrances to the temple as well. Ugh, nasty. Okay. There's also a warp here. There's a telepoint, as you can see over there. So, going to have to do a couple small detours. So we want to get the book, we want to get the teleport, and we want to get the home point. I don't recognize. At least get the book, though. That is a field manual. That's right. If they don't bob up and down, it is a normal manual. It's not a survival. Now we go from ivory lizards to white lizards. We're going to goblin. We're going to Yotor wasp rather than the death wasp or whatever they were. When we get into the bigger areas, then we run into like the actual nasties. At some point, we will start seeing tonberries, which actually look pretty good in this game. You know, there's not a whole lot of artistic depiction of a tonberry, you know. Green head, yellow eyes, wears a cloak, little lantern, little steak knife that he will stab your heart out with. You know, that kind of stuff. That's right, we get into these bigger areas. Okay, give me a second here. I'm glad that nothing will attack me while I'm on my mount. So nice. I did wonder about that, and then realized, oh, nothing attacked you on your chocobo when you ran around, so it's the same thing for mounts. You're basically invisible to enemies. That is not going where we need to go. Hang on. We're going to have to go the long way around. For some reason, I thought that would loop around back to that telepoint. Nope. Yeah, I'm going the long way around. There's no easy way to get over there from the point 1. Had I come in at point 3, we would have run past it, but I didn't know that, so. We're halfway through as is, so might as well continue. I never noticed the soundscape. I did not recognize hearing all of the jungle voice, the jungle sounds, the critters and yelps of creatures. Really makes us feel alive here. Because a lot of areas of the game, the noise is just kind of deafening. Well, the silence is deafening, more or less. Okay, now while we're here, oh, and there we go. We see this. We see that is Ifrit's Cauldron. Now, because of where we are, we probably should run to Ifrit's Cauldron as well and get the field manual for that, because I will have to go through there at some point. And it'll be our first time to actually go to a volcano in this game. So there's a couple. There's a region in Ottergon that is very volcanic. I think that's it. It's Ifrit's Cauldron and that zone in Ottergon. Except for, I don't know about Seekers of Adeline. I don't know a thing about that part. So I'm guessing it's kind of more jungly, foresty. I don't know. I only have brief glimpses of what it might look like. So, I don't have Ifrit's Cauldron. What do you know? Because I've not been to Ifrit's, because I didn't think we needed to go to Ifrit's Cauldron very soon. So, having said that, I think everything in this area gets to like level 60s. Yeah, easy prey. See, I'm level 90, and so this is a higher level area. Instead of running around blind, let's not. Oh, we'll have to come back here at some point, but I've at least flagged it for records of evidence. Okay. No, but you are literally in a volcano. It is actually really cool if it wasn't terrifying. The last time I came here would have been the last time I played, and you have to go through that area to get to the Ifrit, to the Cloister of Flames and stuff. So, yeah, we will come back to that at some point. I also wanted to make note that, remember when we had a couple of instances of seeing the weather and stuff? I ended up getting the last bit of weather, so I could actually go unlock Summoner. That's actually very fortuitous, because Summoner is actually probably the hardest job to unlock, if I had to say so. Out of a lot of the earlier jobs, Summoner was by far the hardest, because one, you had to get a Carbuncle's Rupee, which did not come easily. It apparently is a very rare drop. If you fight lots of leeches, though, you typically get it pretty easily. It's not a fast drop, but you will eventually get a Carbuncle's Ruby. Then you have to start the quest up, which I already started off stream, unbeknowingly to me, trying to do another quest. And then you have to experience all the different weathers of Vana'diel. And some of them are not very common. Oh yeah, you run into Kurls here. That's right. This was another location where I think this is one of the first instances when you run into Kurls. If you didn't run into them in Meritaf Mountains. What was the first Final Fantasy game where I ran into Kurls? It's a Final Fantasy VIII. They were called Taramas, I think. But yeah, kind of the same thing. And then here we are. We are at the outpost. Sweet. Oh, Tomberry. There we are. Tomberry Harasser. Okay, survival guide. Sweet. Okay, we now got that. How hard is it to get to the teleport? Actually, not that hard. It's 2 areas over. Let's do that. So let's go ahead and grab that. And you start seeing a lot more... remember, I started playing the game in Bastok because I was Hume. And Bastok is the Hume's natural nation. And I went to Sandoria. I've spent probably the least amount of time in Windurst. So going around those regions fighting like the Yagudo and stuff like that. That was far less occupying my first time playing, so seeing summons was kind of a new thing to me, because the areas kind of, the creatures of the area typically kind of, what was I gonna say? They kind of follow the same jobs that are associated with each nation. So anything in... So a lot of the jobs that you would get in Sandoria, which would be like Paladin... Well, I guess they do kind of spread out a little bit. So things that you get in Windurst, you'd get Bard, you get Summoner, you get... I think you get Black Mage. Yeah, a Black Mage would be kind of a thing. Ranger. If you go to Bastock, then you would get Dark Knights, you would get Warriors, you get Monks? I'm pretty sure you get Monks. If you went Sandoria, you'd get Paladin, you'd get Dragoons, you'd get stuff like that. Yep, so this is another telepoint, just like the one in Kusat's Desert, as well as up in Darkabard. I think you get a couple other ones, too. I don't remember if there's one out to the Tabnazian Coast or not, but, yep. And if I remember correctly, the levels for this area would have been level 38-ish, I think. You went here before, you went to Yoda Jungle before you went off to Crawler's Den, I think. So okay, so in our guide, method 1, use the Den of Rancor home point, which I don't have. The old-fashioned way by obtaining the paint. Oh yes, I have to get the paintbrush of souls. Oh great. Well, anyone with a home point can easily. You will still need an unlit lantern unless someone opens the Rancor door for you. Okay, yeah. I kind of want to do this the old-fashioned way. Just for old time's sake, to know how much of a ghastly monster it is. Because this was the annoying part. Okay. We're going to follow the paintbrush. Okay. I remember this being a nuisance. All right. And this is a permanent key item, so this doesn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form to do this. So, came from mini quest, see below. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it's a little bit of a timing minigame. I have to get a key from a Tonberry Cutter, who is a notorious monster. Maybe I should do this another time. This looks like this is going to take far more time than I actually want to do. And I will come back at some point to do the stuff, all that stuff. So, yeah, I think we're actually going to skip this, and we're going to do the Unity Warp after all. This sounds like so much more that needs to be fussed. Oh gosh. Okay, so second way. Skip the Temple of You a step to method 3 without the need of the Paintbrush of Souls. Okay. Okay, so, there is a survival guide if I go into the temple main entrance, which is J11 and J12. This one here. So let's go ahead and run back over there and grab the book to get back here. But then we will head home and grab the... Oh, you know what? We're actually going to do something different. We're going to hire a chocobo. And you get the nice little chocobo music rather than the normal mount music, so I think it's fitting. Yeah, the Malboros look pretty different in this game. They don't have the kind of the classic design you see in a lot of the sprite work, or in the newer models now. And see, this is just kind of a mellow kind of mellow version of the song. I think this is the most mellow I've ever heard this version. See, so you will actually go into the main entrance, but then you'll show up out here, and if you fell off of here, you had to go back to the main entrance. There's no way back up. So I remember in this game that Tarotarus looked adorable on their little chocobos, and Galka looked like they were about to squish their birds when they rode them. It looked ridiculous. Galkas are such a big character, it's actually a little ridiculous. So I think by the limitations, that was the biggest they could make it. The birds are just about the same size as for the elven races, but it's pretty bad when you see a Galka who is probably 250% bigger in mass trying to beat on a chocobo. It's just not that pleasant. Now, I think we go upstairs to get in. I'm gonna take a guess at that. If this place wasn't infested with monsters, this would be a wonderful vacation spot, seriously. But because we have all the deadly monsters, including those that hold a grudge for eternity, not particularly advisable. Okay, maybe we don't go upstairs. Where is the entrance here? One thing to note about this game is that in the later areas, they got better at the mazes. Okay. Oh, can't enter wall mounted. I have to get off here. So, off you go. Okay. Ah, see, the book is at the number 2 spot, so we're gonna have to work our way over there. I think I had to come here one time for I think it was for Samurai, actually. I think I had to get it here for Samurai. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, everything here is going to be too weak for me, so I'm not concerned. I run into a lot of Tomberries, though. I think Tomberries link. I'm pretty sure they do. So yeah, at some point, I will need to come back and do the... I'm going to try and do as many side quests as possible, so at some point, I will come here to get the quest done, and then we can do everyone's grudge reset and everything like that, so... won't be a big issue. Anyway. Let's go ahead and grab this book. We will take the book and warp out and do a Unity warp to the Den of Rancor. It's interesting sometimes playing this game because you have to realize that you go into kind of the main open areas, then you go into the dungeons. So you go into out of Necropolis, you go into these located dungeons, you know, Crawler's Den and the strongholds and stuff. They're dungeons of their own. But then you find out that there's a dungeon underneath the dungeon. It's a little bit like Elden Ring in that sense. It's you go through the Temple of Uglapai will take you into the Den of Rancor, which is just a higher dungeon under it. Not a whole lot of games think about that. You have to go through a standard dungeon and then find yourself on the next area, which is a even harder level dungeon. Which, if you were playing during the level 75 cap era, it was intimidating. It honestly was, because everything could attack you. So you had to sync up at everything, but the fact that I'm here and I don't have to sync up at all, despite the fact that because everything's too weak for someone who's level 90 now, it's a little weird. I walked past it again. Sheesh. A little bit of autopilot going, and you just need to stop that. Okay. Let's do a warp and do a unity warp and get to where we need to go. Teleportation. We need to warp to Sandoria. To North Sandoria. When I can, I try and always go to some place that has a field manual or a grounds tome to get the tabs, because the tabs are a free currency that gets used for little else other than teleporting. Now, originally you still can, you could get like a short-term refresh or regen or pack or shell or whatever you're kind of wanting. Don't really do that anymore because you're high enough, because the trusts change all of that. Because you always will have a healer with you, unless you just really don't follow the stuff very often. Because you will be given a couple of healers, so you will always have somebody who can cast Shell and Protect on you. Man, I remember when Protect and Shell were still in Final Fantasy XIV. They eventually got rid of it because they needed room for other spells and stuff, and because it was kind of outdated. You did Stone Skin, and it only started out like the beginning of the fight. You never really refreshed it because it took too long to cast, and yeah. Okay. I want to go to a wanted encounter area. We're going to do a 128. It is Den of Rancor. Yes. And because I get so many accolades, I don't have a problem with spending those. At the beginning, I didn't want to spend them because I was like, I kind of want to save those. I have so many now. At some point, I'm actually going to have to spend a bunch of them now. Okay, so we are in the Den of Rancor now. And we are kind of up high. All right, so let's see. Where am I currently? I'm at E. All right. So I actually need to run all the way over to Sacrificial Chamber. Okay, that's not where I need to go. Is it? Give me a second. Okay, method 2. You'll still need an unlit lantern unless someone opens the Rancor door for you. Okay, so to get the unlit lamp, you have to attain a Rancor flame, Crimson Rancor, or Blue Rancor by trading this unlit to one of the corresponding altars. Do the step until all lanterns are lit and you can access to the desired area. I'm gonna go do a quick call. Stuff here, we have Million Eyes, Easy Prey, Tomberry Slashers, and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and hide ourselves. If I had a superfluous amount of time and I wanted to make it feel like the way it originally was done, I would actually do it. But because we're kind of on I feel like we're kind of on a time limit, and the fact that that because doing this alone probably would take a couple hours to go through and do all the little mini quests and stuff. And I already did something like that, sorta, when I went and got items for getting the crest to continue on with the nation quest and stuff. The fact that there are people here who are able to do this for me is a little easier. Looks like incredibly easy prey, so even easier than what's going on. Okay, and Slow Stoked is there. Fantastic! Thank you, good sir. Wonderful. Okay. So there is a boss fight against three Tomberry up inside as they'll wear upon entering the battle. You'll get a cutscene afterwards. You exit out, head back to the temple. Blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, so hang on a second. Oh, I have no map for the area. I don't have the Den of Rancor map. Oh. So here's the mahogany door. Okay, this is the battlefield we're going to enter. We're against a thief, a black mage, and a summoner. Nasty. Okay, so... here, well, we'll trigger our closure first. Yeah, we'll do this. It seems slightly odd that the every time you start a fight, it's always the buff process at the beginning. You don't just jump in. That's kind of how it is in a lot of games, is that you don't do buffs at the beginning of a fight or something like that. You usually just start the fight. We're going to fight two Tomberries, and one of them has a crown on. Oh, do I see a Glucian? Did you join the chat? Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna immediately just jump in and go for him. And it is light day. Okay. Our summoner. He's using an interesting looking wand. It looks like a fork. Oh, summoned up. Oh, gosh. MLOF, please come on in. We are doing Rise of the Zilart quests for the first time. Well, second time, but first time through this character. So that's, he uses perfect dodge. Okay. See, he's holding the knife. I'd like to say that you can actually get the Tomberry knife in this game. Can you? I can't remember if you can. I think you can. Anyway, Savage Blade! Someone using that on stream. It was wasted though because he's got his perfect dodge going. Everyone's Rancor. That's what that looks like. Let's see, and everyone's Rancor didn't take any damage because we had not killed any Tomberries yet, so they didn't do anything. Wait, lay down thy blades. Ah, here she is. Welcome, brave adventurer. Thine arrival can only mean one thing. They have once again begun their rise. I must forgive my companions. They remain bound to this place by the spirits of the past, though they do not yet realize it. Oh, I have yet to introduce myself. My name is Graviton Barasaki, a scholar from the lost civilization of Kulu. However, my colleagues often refer to me as by the sobriquet Tonberry. I represent the collective consciousness of the remains of that was once a great race of people. Listen carefully, for the tale I'm about to tell thee reaches far across the plains of time, back 10,000 years. Wow, the Tomberries are actually kind of buff. Very defined muscles there. It all started with a mirror crystal and the mysterious power it held. So, more world building. Okay, loading up right now. There we go. Deep beneath Vana'diel rest 5 enormous crystals, all more powerful than any force on this planet. The Zilart used that power to develop their civilization. 5 arcs, also known as crags, tap the crystals of their power. Told you the crags would be useful. It would become very story integral. So, the crystal lines tie the arcs, and Delphuk's tower controls the flow of energy. However, this is only the beginning. They had other plans for the power of the crystals. The Gate of the Gods. It is said that bringing the power of the 5 crystals together will open the gate to the heavens and transform Vana'diel into a paradise for the gods. However, we Cthulhu, along with the followers of the goddess, the Dawn Maidens, were against this plan. We voiced our disapproval to the Zilart. They were too driven by their self-centered motives to lend an ear to our pleas. Gates of the Gods, the floating island of Tulia, was constructed, and Zilart's plan was put into motion. Wow, seeing them glow like that is crazy. We can see all the energy being channeled through the lines and stuff. That's the one in the Maritaf Mountains that flies across to Cliffham Island. A fantastic amount of energy was drained from the crystals and focused into Tulia. However, while this was taking place, we Kulu led an attack on the northmost arc and destroyed it, putting an end to their abominable plan. Unfortunately, this act caused the crystals to spin out of control. The world was engulfed in a blinding light, and the Zilart were destroyed. Land where the Zilart resided sank into the abysmal depths of the sea, while the overflowing power of the crystals laid waste to the Northlands, leaving them uninhabitable. So that's how the Northlands became how they were, and why there isn't another crag in the north, because it's been destroyed. Those Kulu who survived the happenings of that day fled here. However, the power of the crystals left its mark on us. As time passed, our bodies and minds degenerated into the form you see standing before you. We do not regret our actions. It was a small sacrifice to save Vana'diel. What will happen, happens. One can sit and ponder over what could have been, but would only be the waste of time. We must move on. This world belongs to all who reside on its fertile soil. We could not let it be transformed into a mere playground for the gods. However, when I learned that Delphux Tower remained unchanged even after the accident, I could sense that something was amiss. At that moment, I knew our fight was not yet over. Heed my words, young adventurer. Thou must travel to the small island of Zepwell, located in the southeast of Bastok. There thou wilt find the remains of an ancient temple. There thou must join the 8 fragments of light. Only then will the Dawn Maiden show thee the path thou must follow. Fragments can be found embedded in 8 stone monuments located in remote areas of Vana'diel. As to their precise whereabouts, that is for thee to discover. My time has passed. There's nothing more I can do but stand back and watch as this drama unfolds. Ah yes, there was one more thing I must tell thee. Beware of the Elder Prince of the Zilart. The bond he has formed with the crystals is great. His magic is truly powerful. He has already crossed the boundaries of man and stepped into the forbidden realm of the gods. Thou must be careful. I will not pray for thy success, for it is not prayer that will lead thee to victory. Thou wilt do what thou must to overcome this great evil. Here's the first fragment to start thee on thy journey. Now be off. There is not much time. So, as you guys can kind of tell, this also follows along a lot of the older Final Fantasies in terms of, like, crystals and fragments of crystals and stuff like that. The fact that the Tomberries were all of the refugees of the Kulu civilization. That's kind of new to me. I don't remember that. Okay, so now, be sure to get the home point. And then we're done. So that's done. Okay, so headstand pilgrimage. So we have to go get earth, fire, ice, light, lightning, water, wind, and we have the dark one. So. Okay, so this is going to be the rest of the stream, I think. Due to the long nature of this mission, it is recommended that you take precautions to ensure that you have received the key items. It requires traveling in a lot of places, some in the far corners, the large and dangerous places. Make sure you, when checking the headstone, you receive the message when you that you obtain the key item. If you are too far away, the game will give you the message you need to move closer to quote-unquote key item, and a quick glance will appear the same as you acquire it. Be sure to double-check. There are 2 types of headstones. One type that gives you the key item. Others spawn NMs that must you defeat to receive the key item. Several headstones are close to cloister home points. It's recommended to grab those on the way if you haven't unlocked them yet. So we have to go to West Altepa, into quicksand caves for the earth fragment. For the water fragment, we're going to Ordell Caves. The ice fragment, we're going back to Fei Ying. The fire fragment, we're going to through. It looks like we're going through Yoder Jungle, through parts of Ifrit's Cauldron, and into a place of Yotunga Jungle where you can't normally access it. The lightning fragment is in Behemoth's Dominion, which is next to Quifum's Island. Haven't been there yet. The wind fragment is in Cape Terrigan, which I have been for leveling purposes. I don't know. I can't remember if I've been there on stream. And then the light fragment is in the Sanctuary of Zilart, which I have been off stream. If we go there, I'm probably going to have to turn the music off for the stream because it's copyright. So I might mute the game for that. But yeah, there's a bunch of things we have to do and a lot of locations we have to go to. So yeah, like I said, it's going to take a long time. We might not even finish it We might not even finish it this stream. I've got about an hour. I don't think that's going to work. So I think what we're going to do... Yeah, I know. And unfortunately, when I started saying that I was going to stream it, someone said, I got copyright claim on the Sanctuary of Zilart, so be aware of that. So we could go through it, but it would mute the entire stream, unfortunately. So I will probably just have to mute the game, sadly. Which is really annoying. It was done by a band in Brazil, or it was like a symphony in Brazil or something, is what I remember the person telling me. So. Ah! It's attacking me. Didn't realize they would actually come. I didn't realize they were aggressive. Oh, that's not nice to know. Actually, you know what? I don't want to fight this thing yet. Specifically being, I'm going to go fight a bunch of them when I do this quests. Let's do that then. I just beat up 3 of your bosses. Why do you want to do that? How are you, Glucian? Is it good to see you? It's good to see you. All right, hang on a second. Hey, Clethmas. Go ahead and pull out our warp ring instead. We'll use that. Because I also need to go get, I need to go get some maps. Because I don't have one for, Ifrit's Cauldron. But we're going to go through these by order instead of by region, so, I'm just going to kind of follow the guides to the letter, honestly. That's right, I did get Z2. I have a couple copper vouchers. Let's go ahead and turn those in. So take a small diversion here. Sandoria, we need to go to South Sandoria. This one, and unlock this cipher. I can then... check off on my list. Because I'm going to try and get all the trust that I can. Now, I don't know what this glowing bit thing next to him is. I'd love to know what it is. It's called like a mystic retriever or something? I don't know what this does. I don't know why you're surprised, dude. I've shown up to you with like 50 other trusts. Why are you still... Yeah, mystic retriever. I don't know what this does. Maybe it's a way to get ciphers back that you can't get previous. I don't know. I would assume that might be the case. Okay, so we got the trust. We mark that down. Complete. Fantastic. I now have a total of 50 trusts now. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, then we're going to run over to the entrance. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to do trade you those vouchers. Oh, okay. So if you're like your inventory is full or something, then it will hold it. Okay, cool. Nice to know. I think that's the biggest thing that online games have to deal with, is that people might be, if you run into like your inventory's full, you can't hold anymore. You have to figure out a way how to resolve that issue, because it's not very effective to have a developer sitting in a queue of asking people saying, "I lost this item on such this." It's a giant pain in the butt, because then you have to verify that they actually lost it through like going through like logs and stuff, and it's always a big nuisance. Okay, so we're gonna go and get our Earth fragment now, and it looks like it says if we do Unity Warp to West Altepa will land you within this area, cutting out the need to go through the quicksand caves. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and do that. What do you want? Oh, none of your snark, first off. Okay, West Altepa Desert. Don't need your snark. All right, so put us here. Yeah, and if everybody who watched me last night remembers, this is where I had to go find the pillar stuff to go do Savage Blade. Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of this area. Now. Follow the path turning right at the fork when you come to a plunger-looking statue, the ruby statue. So it's kind of in this area. Oh, yep. Sermet headstone. It's right there. So, luckily, nothing here will get me otherwise. Those of you who didn't watch the stream last night, I did Monument Valley 2, and then I switched over to Final Fantasy 11. Looks like somebody's already gotten this. But we ended up getting Savage Blade done, as well as another limit break, I believe. And this part was annoying because I didn't realize how much of a pain it was to get through there. Thank you for the reminder of Mount. So. Such a pain to get to where I needed to go. Thankfully, one of my other viewers is also a fan of the game and plays. And jumps in, Seth Rod, if you've ever seen him in the chat. He came in and helped me with getting the pillars down so I could go and do my thing. So, big shout out to him. And there is our Sermet headstone. I don't think we've run into any of these before. I think this is the first one we've ever actually run into. It's pretty cool. Okay. It does not... Okay, an earth fragment. A single fragment of light. The way in which it shines suggests that it's resonating with something. Yes, so remove that fragment. I obtain the earth fragment. Okay. Now, because I just used my... my warp ring, I don't think I have it available. Now for another 3 minutes. Okay. And I am dumb and have not gotten the warp spell itself. And have not equipped Black Mage. So we're gonna be running a little bit. That is okay. Okay, so we can run over to the book over there. That will get us out of here. Let's do that. Yep, I got Savage Blade last night, and I got Sanguine Blade today. While I was leveling up to 90. I would like to make a note. I ended up looking ahead at what I needed to get done for level 95. And it wasn't a whole lot, but there was a whole lot of, like, poop references, and it kind of dumb. So I have actually done the limit break off stream before this to unlock to 95. So 95 is my new cap. But it was a weird thing. So had different Taro show up and wanted me to sign a little contract, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to create this mask, think of like a chocobo egg. It had to be a right size. It was a timing puzzle, whole thing. And then that got turned into a soul gem, which will be explained to me at some point. So yeah, so at this point, Mott is not even really part of the limit breaks anymore. Okay, so the next one we need to get is Water Fragment. We're going to go into Ordell Caves. I think we're going into the deepest part of Ordell Caves. Thankfully, I've been there before. So, we're going to go to... Oh, nope, it's not Ronfar, it's Zulkheim. Ordell Caves. Here we go. And for the most part, Ordell Caves is all low-level stuff. I don't think anything... I don't think I even have to sneak up for the area. Okay, so it is... on this area. Where does it say? Show map 2. Follow the path east to I-6, exit B. Okay. So I'm looking this way. I need to go through the water. Didn't they reuse the Ordell map more or less for something in Ottergon? Wasn't it for like one of the activities there? I'm vaguely trying to remember if that's something that they did. I don't remember at all. I don't remember. I do not remember. Because I think there was because I can't remember what it was. Because there's a couple of events there's a couple of content things. There's salvage. There's salvage in Ottergon. I want to say there was yet another activity that you did. And yeah, it put you down at a low level again. Or it used to. I legitimately can't remember. Okay, so... anyway, that's probably all been lifted now. All things considered, because... remember, last time I did it was... 15 years ago. 15, 16 years ago, so... okay, now where do we need to go? We need to go to... exit D. Exit D's nuts! Mm-hmm. I had to, sorry. Okay. It seems kind of odd, but playing this time around, I feel far more comfortable walking into areas. When I was playing the game originally, I was very nervous going into new areas. Okay, we're gonna go to D. There we go. Aha, okay. Oh, was it Eco Warrior? Okay. Because I've seen those quests. Okay. I've seen those quests because I've been working on a master list of quests. Okay, hang on a second. So... at H11... was a big deal back then. Ah, gotcha. No, I specifically remember that there was something that you did in Oregon, and the one time I did it, it looked like we got put into Ordell Caves. And it made me think that we had, that we had been warped to Ordell, a version of Ordell Caves or something. It's weird. I don't remember. Okay, so now, hang on a second. What does this say? That is at the south side of H11 at the transition between H11 and H12. Oh, that hole back there. The one I just walked past. Oh, worm assault. Yeah. Yeah, because I do remember the worms. I do remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, assault. Yeah, there's assault and salvage. And then besiege, but that was a different thing. I remember doing besiege a couple times. It was not pleasant. Because I could barely fight even the weakest enemies there, and then they had a boss that could completely clock you. But you had to do besiege if you wanted to keep the chocobo rider. As besiege, they would take NPCs out of the bazaar area. Really annoying. Okay, so does it say that I actually go into the... if I drop down the hole, I think? I think so. Hang on a second. Yes, because it drops you onto the upper area. Ah! I did the wrong one. Whoops! It's supposed to be up there, so I had the wrong hole. Whoopsie!
Disappointed!
Not sure what they're talking about in chat. I think they're doing some kind of they're doing an activity or something tonight. I don't know which one because I can't do it. Okay, so back to where I was. Oh, H11 to H12. Yeah, I was at the one for 10 to 11. That's where my mistake was. Misread the map. Buds Bunny. Well, these things are actually decent challenge. These are like level 90 stuff. This is level 90 stuff. This is not attacking me. Been worse. Okay, let me see here. Whoop! Charge beetle. I'd rather not get attacked by this stuff. Okay. Now we ended up at the E area. New map. Aha! Okay. And that... So it should be... Okay, so then we go from E. Oh, okay, so we go through the... So is it outside then? Oh, it is. Okay, I got you. That's the whole point of going through here. Okay. Okay, so for somebody who's played the game for... Well, so this is something I'll need to look up. A lot of times when I look at the maps, you see where the napalm is right there? Sometimes the maps will have stuff like that. Stroper chime. Ooh, nasty. Oh, actually not that nasty. They have those there, but they're different colors. And I'm trying to figure out why those colors are there. I've never looked them up because it's stuff that was done when the maps got updated through Final Fantasy XI Atlas, I think was the website. But that website's gone now. So it usually is over places where a notorious monster sits. I don't know what the colors mean. And it doesn't say on the map itself, so... But funnily enough, somebody in my Final Fantasy XIV free company was actually on the team that did all that stuff, so maybe I can ask him. Hunting for notorious monsters was never a big thing for me in this game. Unless it had an item that I really wanted to get, I didn't bother going out of my way to find notorious monsters. If I found one, happy day. If I could fight it, happy day again. But I was never one to just kind of sit there and just go looking for monsters. I now have a reason now, because Records of Eminence has a record for subjugation of a bunch of different ones. Oh, are the colors for the planar rifts, maybe? For the Void Watch stuff? Because blue and green is a color. Okay. Because the other ones I've seen is like red and green and stuff like that. Maybe that's what that's for. It's for Void Watch stuff. Because you have to do certain color alignments for Void Watch. I spent like 30 minutes reading up on Void Watch stuff when I first unlocked it. I was like, what does this do? What is this for? I think it came out with the... I don't know if it came out with the advent of Abyssea or if it was just before Abyssea came out. I think it came out with Abyssea. Okay, so we're down in this... Aha. I gotcha. So the entrance to Ordell is actually the second entrance. The first entrance is actually through a whole nother winding of... Interesting. That's very odd. Didn't know about that. I do think it's kind of cool that to do this quest, you have to go to a lot of different parts of the game to do this. So it's stuff that has been added into areas that you already know. It's like, oh, I didn't know this was here. Well, this got added with the new content, maybe. So being a dev going like, okay, where can we hide these things? And they have looking through all the maps like, oh, there's a place we could hide something, you know. Okay, water fragments. And I have obtained the water fragments. Fantastic. The next one is ice fragment, and that's back in Fei Ying. And makes the way to the Cloister of Ice. Cool. I have that. I got the Cloister of Ice back when I was doing stuff at Fei Ying, so we can just go get that. And I believe my item is refreshed. We're going to do a warp. Warp ring. The ice fragment is going to be very easy to get. The fire fragment is going to take a lot longer. Okay, but I also need to go talk and get some maps. I have a lot of money, so I could go get all the maps now, and I don't have to worry about getting maps ever again. Let's see. We need to go to Danya? No. Aragati. There we go. Fei Ying. We need to go to home point 2. I kind of wish they had the same dotted lines that you see in 14 to show where the zone is. As odd as that sounds, I kind of would like to know where the barrier is, so that I could actually have that information. I think it would be awfully nice. Not a big deal, but still. Well, I was looking up quests. I was looking up the quest for doing the Fenrir summon. And oh boy. I didn't realize you had to do so much to get to go do Fenrir as a summon. That's something way off in the future when we get summon stuff and going off with that. Yay, there's our ice fragment. Whoopee! Now, while I'm here, I could get a... What is it? I think it's a Shiver Stone? Frost Stone. I'll hold the Frost Stone. I actually need to look up and see if there's anything for it. I know that you need to get a Trevor Stone. I think you need to get a Frost Stone for a Synergy quest, I think. You go get a stone from, like, each of the cloisters, and that will make you learn something for Synergy. Which is something I've never touched. I've never touched Synergy, which is part of crafting, I think. Anyway, back to Sandoria. Now Sandoria, home point. Yes. Okay. Oh, and someone is spamming books. Jeez. Okay. Nyanika. I've seen them around. Okay, so... Emperor's Cauldron. Yes. I don't know where Marai Canal is. Is that in the Windurst region? Map of Ruan Gardens. We might as well grab all these. I think Ruan Gardens is Tulia. And that's the palace at the center of it. That's connected to Zarkabard, I think. Ottawa Chasm, that's in... I actually don't know. Map of Tatnazia, I think that's aqueducts in that place. That is all... That is, Chains of Promathia, so we don't need those yet. But heck, while we're here, let's buy all the maps. I've got the money. Let's do it. Oh, we've got a Vanish Aqueans as a challenge now. Probably not getting that done tonight. It sounds like somebody stepping on a squeaky toy. That's what it sounds like. It's really annoying. Here we get Alzabi. Nashmal. Okay, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a video I saw. It was someone's dog. They were asleep with a chew toy in their mouth, and every time they snored or sneezed, they squeezed the chew toy just a little bit, so it would squeak with their snoring, with the dog snoring. Making me think of that. This is all Aragon stuff, which we won't get to in... We probably won't get till Christmas. Who knows? I don't know how long it'll be until we get into Aragon stuff, but it will be a while. Oh, we're gonna be doing Aragon stuff. We're gonna be going to with one of them air places at Christmas time. Yes. I think that's all the maps, though. Yes, I've gotten all the maps. Okay, so there was a couple that I need to get. Grauberg is pastime. That's all Wings of the Goddess. Because I don't think you get any of the Secrets of Adeline stuff until you go there. You get the maps there. Because that was the latest thing. So, where do we need to go now? We need to go to Yoder Jungle, making way from the Cloister Flames or the Ifrit Cauldron home point. Pass through the Yoder Jungle survival guide on map 4 anyway. Okay, so I'm going to have to do that one way or another. So, and that will help me in the future. So, time to go get our shoes melted. Let's see. Elshma up. That does Den of Rancor. Not what I want. Back to Sandoria, North Sandoria. This might take a little bit more time because we might have to deal with the lava flows, which I didn't even remember. But you have to get through them. I think when I came through with this area, I was with a couple people who were helping me do this the first time, and was I on my samurai? I'm pretty sure I was on samurai because I was really big into samurai. And I was level 60 something. There was a red mage with me, and the other person was a dragoon, and they had macro set up where they were changing gear out for like every weapon skill. And this was before gear swap was a thing. Back during 75, remember? So, I thought that was really odd because I didn't like the idea of because he would blink out, do the weapon skill, and blink back to the normal gear that he would use. I'm gonna have to get used to that because apparently that's just the thing you do now. That's right. Elshmo up. That's gonna stick us there. Yeah, that works. Okay, so okay, so it wants us to go into allow you to enter Ifrit's Cauldron as instructed. It does not say which one I need to go into, though. Cauldron path. Hey. Okay, Yoda Jungle 1, so we need to go this way. Okay. Mount time. I don't know if I can mount in Ifrit's Cauldron. I would assume not. I'm walking that one, I figured. See, and you also have to understand that mounts weren't, when I was playing the game previously, mounts weren't a thing. So I was very used to running every location on foot. And it still is not super clear when you can use a mount in an area. I would assume in a lot of cases, if you can't see the sky, you can't mount. Because a lot of these places are considered dungeons, and Ifrit's Cauldron, I would definitely call it a dungeon, even if you can't see the sky. Okay. We need to go this way. Kind of retracing our steps from earlier. This probably will be the last fragment that we get. Oh, yeah. I remember running around those. Running around in Bustine Glacier, even on a mount, is annoying, because because there isn't a book to Fei Ying. So unless you went the whole 9 yards and went and got the home point there, you ran it. And I did that a couple times for stream. Because I had to go to Fei Ying for the artifact for Red Mage. In the wrong direction again. And Zarkabard is actually not that bad. It's smaller than Glacier. Glacier is probably one of the biggest maps of the original areas. The jungles are a secondary match for them, I think, in size. They don't seem nearly as big because you don't walk 80% of them. Most of it you walk through these tiny little tunnels that they've cut into the rocks, so... No, when I went to Castle's Vale to beat Shadow Lord last week, I was amazed at how quick the trip was. I didn't realize it was that quick to get there because remember, back in 75, everything in there would attack you, and you'd have to sneak and invis, and they weren't standardized times; they were random based on stats and the game's whimsy. So it was a trial to get anywhere. Because then you'd have to try and find a safe spot where you could reapply the spells, and potentially have to reapply them immediately again because they would just run out. Here's the survival guide. This is what I was wanting. Cool. Okay, I've now got a nice big long map, so we can go right along there. Everything in here is easy prey. Let's not get attacked by anything, especially for this part. Ah! Volcanic gas, it's attacking me. Well, to be fair, I should be able to fight this. It's not going to be very quick, though. 100 to 98 on a swing. I can already do a rough calculation in my head and see how long that's going to take. I should probably summon a couple trusts just in case. And we can probably do a tank and a DPS. And do one that doesn't do, I'm trying to remember, does Ifrit's Cauldron, does it also have coffers? I think it does. You had to go to so many different places for the coffers to get things. Basically had to go to any of the dungeons for Rise of the Zilart, which has a bunch of different names. Okay. Let's do a couple summons. And then we'll grab... Lucien, do you have a favorite trust that you like to have out for DPS other than Shantoto? Oh, do you know what who'd actually be pretty good? Oh, Semi? Okay. Yeah, that would be the kind of deal I want to do. That's fine. Okay, we got a DPS, we got that. Let's go ahead and sneak up. Away from everything. Okay. Now we can run through this without... Yeah. Well, the problem is that if I cast magic, I'm going to grab things anyway, because magic will grab all the volcanic gas, and Vana'diel will cast things anyway, so he will also cause things to grab. So I'm probably going to get stuck pulling things anyway, so AoE is not necessarily a bad thing in this case. Goblin bandits. Oh, we're walking through lava tubes. Oh! First time we've seen that enemy. Oh, they are so creepy. Hectize. Hectize family. First time seeing those on stream. Ooh. Bubbling lava. So I happen to have a map here of the path I need to take, so it's going to be a little bit. Oh, should it be true sight? Eh. Okay, Lucien, while I have you here, there's a spell called Deodorize. So there are creatures that can catch you by scent. I asked the link shell how often that gets used. They said there's very few enemies that actually detect you by smell. Do you remember what any of those are? Because I actually tried looking up, and it wouldn't say any creatures that actually could detect by smell when I tried looking up Deodorize or by scent or something like that. Which I thought was odd. I thought they would kind of mark out as deception. Here are the creatures who can summon you by, who can see you by smell. Because it makes me think that because there's so few, people hated it so much they didn't want to do more of it. Okay, we are stuck behind a lava sprout, and I don't have any ice clusters. So we're going to be sitting until this thing changes. Oh, really? They actually put that in. You could run through water to lose scent? I'm amazed they made that as a mechanic. That's actually kind of cool. Well, while we're waiting here, why don't you go ahead and look up and see if you can find any enemies that actually track you by scent? Because I would be very interested in that. Because I would not know otherwise. I don't look up enemies. I look up notorious monsters if I run into them, because it's like, is this one that I could actually take on? But for the most part, I don't really do a lot of searching while actually playing on stream. So I'm curious. Okay, we are about maybe about halfway there. There's flames about there and there. There are There are 2 flame spouts in the last area. That's annoying. So we could be there for a total of 15 minutes. Yikes. I'm going to hold off trying to attack this volcanic gas as long as possible. Because at any moment, that spout could go down. And I have to make sure that I run through when it's down. Kind of over, you can't just cast a blizzard or something on it. That would have been kind of nice, but nope, you gotta trade an ice cluster. Oh. Oh, it's starting to rain. I was like, is it starting to go down? Nope, it's just rain. Now, because we're actually going right past, well, no. I think what we'll do, if we can... Oh, okay. They don't detect scent, they pursue after aggro by scent. So once they detect you, you could deodorize by spell or by running through water to lose. Oh, okay, so it's more of a preventative measure. It's not a preventative measure, it's more of a reactive measure to them actually tracking you. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Well, and you'd think that certain animals, like any of the wolf species... Okay. Orcs and crawlers are the examples. Huh, interesting. You would think that something that would specifically hunt you by scent would be something that is renowned for scent tracking, like the hound, like the wolf enemies or something. They're actually going to attack this thing. Oh, of course, now he just walks right through the lava like it's nothing. I love that the truss will do whatever they need to do their actions. If they're far away from notorious monster from a monster, they'll go through doors that you can't normally open. I've seen that all the time. It's usually the cement doors in Fei Ying or in Delkfoot's Tower. They'll go through those doors. Trusts have a cheat code. Trusts are part of the system. They're in the Matrix. Savage Blade. And done. Nice. That did 1,400 points of damage. Whew. Oh, and I got a bomb arm. Nice. I needed a bomb arm for a quest. I now have 2. Oh, and there we go, just in time. What a promise there. Whew. Okay. Oh, hang on a second, hang on. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're being able to do, that's a little bit of a bummer. What I would have liked to have done is actually run past the Cloister of Flames, but it looks like it's kind of a one-way walk. We'll see if we can come back to it after we get the... I'm summoning another one. Here he comes. That was a long ways away, my man. I wish you didn't try to shoot at me while I'm next to the thing. Semi. Can take a shot at any time. There you go. Lux arrow. There we go. Okay. Now, while nothing's around, now let's sneak and invis up. Okay, we're gonna walk through the E. So somewhere along here, hang on. Yeah, so we're gonna actually go to we're taking the H transit. So yeah, we go this way. So that little outlet over there, if you take that, that takes you to the Cloister of Flames. But there's no way to come back to this place easily, I think? From what I can tell. Because you'd have to travel through M. M pops you out back at a previous spot, I think. It would not be an easy trip back. So I'm going to have to skip the Cloister of Flames, unfortunately. For the time being. I'm going to go ahead and take the Nen. Yes. I'm going to have to be careful through here because there is an Ash Dragon that spawns up during this time now. Great. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you doing that. Oh, there's actually quite a handful of enemies that do it. Classification for further reading. Thank you so much. Well, and I wonder because there's the creature families and then there's specific creatures. Because Orcish War Machine, Orc could be any Orc, which doesn't seem right. This flame spout is currently up now, so I'll wait for it to go down. Tiger, Opo, Coral, Manticore, Wiver, Bee, Crawler, Beetle, Slap. Yeah, that's actually a lot. Clots? Are Clots a different version of slime? I assume so. A slime, ooze, those things are all the same family. Ecdies are specific. See, it's funny because a lot of those creatures, they don't even have a nose. Ecdies don't have a nose. What are you talking about? They have lots of eyes. The leech, I could believe. There's a link to slime? Mm-hmm. Okay. Careful there, adventurer. It doesn't have a nose! The Orcish War Machine, that's just a cardboard cutout box, toy thing that the orcs made. But a lot of the other ones make sense. Interesting. Now I'm trying to remember, where do you run into Flawn and the what are they? What are the other ones? You find those in Ottergon, don't you? I'm very certain that they're in this game. I know they're in 14. Very, very, very affirmative in 14. They're in lots of areas. But I can't remember when they introduced... If they do introduce Flawn and like the Blood Current and things like that. Mobs have to rise with the Zilart. That's fine. This is just bringing up. This is just dredging up memories. That's all it's doing. So. Anyway, I wanted to actually go to my key items. Nope, not my key items. I'm going to go here, go to my Mog case. So I currently have things set up in such a way that if I find items for quests, I will throw them in my Mog case, because it holds up to 80. And it's actually been really useful. We'll throw that frost stone in there too. We are starting to fill, well, and we were filling up on spots. Then I actually went and did a bunch of quests and actually pulled things out to make room for them. So go ahead and put the revival in there. I don't know if I need bomb ash for anything. I know I'm just running out of space though. So. At the end of stream, when I get off, I'll probably go through and figure out go through all those items, going like, oh, what do I still need to have? Okay, now the Ash Dragon, I would assume, is also a high level thing. Oh, Hurricane Wyvern, nasty. If I remember correctly, there are some places I still haven't been in this game. I don't think I've ever been in Dragon's Eyrie. Oh, good. The thing's not around. Or at least we can't see it yet. Please don't let the Ash Dragon be here. Please don't let it be here. Don't want to have to deal with that. It's not here. Okay. Good. Then how unlucky are we? Third time's the charm? Ooh, it's down. Let's see if we can cross before it comes back up. Oh no, it's still down. It's still up. It's still up. It just was lower than I was expecting it. Never mind. Oh well. Not a big deal. This volcanic bomb is going to get it though. Oh, don't you dare walk away from me! Oh, how dare you, walking through the fire? Showing off. Can I even reach that? I think I can. I think I'm in range. There we go. See if we can paralyze him. I'd like to make sure that he doesn't detonate on me. Ready to self-destruct. Oh boy! Okay, that was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but, okay. And just like that, it's perfect timing once again. Has another bomb. And that's the zone right there, so let's just run for it. 34 points of damage. That's not bad. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Still, let's get out of here. And out we go. Okay, so got through the area. And where did it put us? Okay, so we're now on this part. Okay. Oh, and it looks like I'm gonna have to fight something. That's okay. Oh, our soldier colors, nope. Soldier colors are the normal enemies here, I think. Yep, everything's weak here. Okay. I don't know anymore these days. You can walk into an area and it's like, oh, these things are normal. It's like, oh, no, they're not. They're not 99 somethings. They're going to kill me. All right, now. Okay, you need to go under the waterfall, apparently. Okay. And we're gonna have to fight two things. Okay. Not that one, but the other one, I think. Hang on a second. L6 to L7, so I'm in the right area. Oh, I'm in K set. Hmm. Further in the back here? Oh, yep, even further. Okay. Wonderful. Trusts. Let's go ahead and get our guys out again. I have not sorted my trust magic yet. Trust magic. Sort. Ink. There we go. And then one more. I get out of here for if you value your life. Jeez. Hey, take it. Oh, need to get closer. How do I get closer? I'm right up against the thing. The Opos attack. What a phrase. Careful, I might freeze you. Oh, and the goblin's dead. Or maybe not. Goblin survived. Well, the not going to last for very long, though. Back to what we were actually doing, fighting these things. Yeah, I'm not a fan of blank gaze, removing effects. Things that can remove your buffs are annoying. First, let's move over to Karthi. Come on. There we go. Okay. Give me your fragment. Give me that fragment. All right. So we got halfway through, and we got through probably the longest one that we needed to do. One way or another. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of finish it up for tonight. Because I did overplay last night by a little bit. So I want to be a little bit more on top of it today. I will have to get to the Cloister of Flames another time. That's good. We've gone to a bunch of areas that I haven't been before. So I have the Record of Eminence stuff available to me now. And we've made some good stuff. Yeah. Thank you so much for showing up, Lucian. I really do appreciate it when you're here. You're always free to come and be in my chat. You are. Okay. So. Oh my gosh, did you just use your Prime on me? Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. I do really appreciate that. Thank you. I don't even have an alert for Prime. I'm gonna figure one out though. I have one available. I really need to work on that stuff though. Thank you so much for the Prime. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me, honestly. So. Anyway, so we're gonna call it here for tonight. Stream. Yep, kind of the ending point. Yep. I hope to see you again. Always love having you in the chat. It's been swell. It's been nice. Thank you so much for the Prime. And I hope to see you again soon. All right, folks, we're getting there. We are getting there. So, little refresher. I'm now level 90. Once we get to 99, hey, I'm just gonna be kind of done with Red Mage for the time being. I'll still have to get quests. I'll still have to go get spells and stuff, but I would like to get some other things. So, one other thing that I would like to do is that as we're ending up here, this is kind of my thoughts for 11. These keep changing on occasion. Just go with me on it. So originally I was thinking that during Tuesdays and Thursday streams, I would do something along the lines of we would try and do quests. Try and do quests for unlocking new jobs and stuff. So the first time would be unlocking it. So then I would have a Wednesday to level up the character up to 60 something, and then we could go through the artifact quests. Because of how we're sitting right now, I think I might change that up because we really have no time limit on that. As much as for clarity's sake I would like to do that, that means that I more or less would be taking up, I wouldn't be taking up the whole week, but I would be taking up probably the whole Thursday doing artifact stuff, because that would be me going through and doing the quests and everything, which would be easy for me, but it's nitpicky. So what I think we'll be doing is that I'm going to be at a minimum unlocking jobs. So when we get into next time, I will go and unlock a new job. Kind of depends on what it will be, because I know that some of the jobs are a little annoying. Dark Knight is particularly annoying because you have to go kill 100 things, and you can't use weapon skills to for the landing blow, and you can't use trusts. So, Dark Knight might be one that that might be one that we could start unlocking and work our way through. I have to use Greatsword and stuff, and that's only accessible to a few jobs. We might do a different job. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. But I would like to start unlocking some of the other jobs that we have, because there's really not going to be any good time to like get a break between the story missions to actually do stuff. So what I'm thinking is that at the beginning of each stream from this point on, we will go and unlock a job. And I don't know how long that will take. I have to look at the quests again, because some of them are a little bit more involved than others. Summoner by far was the most done, but I kind of have done it now. I just have to go and do a cutscene, I think, and I have unlocked Summoner. We will kind of go in order. So the next one would be Dark Knight, and I believe I have them actually set up in my macros. Let me look here. Edit macro, yeah. So the Paladin we did, so we'd go do Dark Knight. I have to look at Beastmaster, because I think you have to do another quest before you can get that unlocked. We can go get Bard, we can go get Ranger, we can go get Samurai, Ninja, Dragoon, and Summoner. And what that will allow me to do is I can start getting a bunch of jobs up to level 60 at least, and I would probably be taking Samurai and going further with that. When we get into a point where we can kind of stop between missions, and we have like a string where we want to take a break from doing the story mission stuff, like if we have a good break, or we're going to go try and do something else, or it's just something else that's more interesting, we can go and do the job quests for that. And in between streams, I can work on like doing the quests that are needed in between, because there are some quests that I have to go do between certain ones. Paladin, for instance, I know I have to go fishing at one point. It's really annoying, but something I'll have to figure out. So I think when we start up Thursday, I think we will start by unlocking Dark Knight. And then we will continue through Rise of the Zilart. We'll continue through the quests. Because, that'll work fine. And then the next one we can do Bard, we can do Beastmaster and all that stuff. I'm going to look through these and try and see what quests we can do, but yeah, I think unlocking Dark Knight next time will be what we will start out with first. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you being here. If you show up in chat, you can see it buoys me up. It makes me interested. And it honestly just makes it more fun. So, please do not be afraid to speak up in chat, even if it's just a hi or something like that. I'm not going to push you for a conversation if you really don't want to talk. Just say, hi, just going to lurk or something like that. That's perfectly fine. That's fully viable. If you have been watching my stuff and you know somebody or you are a fan of spooky stuff, for the whole of October, I'm playing spooky games. We will be playing some Final Fantasy XI still because, well, I don't know, there's going to be a lot of things to do. But for the most part, for streams, I'm going to be playing horror games. And they could be games they could be Halloween themed, but it's not necessarily spooky, but Halloween themed or something like that. I have a bunch, and we're going to more or less kind of pick them at random. I am going to try and get all of these small games out the door first, because then when we play spooky games, I can lay into a longer length game right off the bat, and that can just be kind of a multi-day stream thing that we'll do. So if you're interested in that, if you know somebody who's interested in watching someone get scared out of their pants like me, who hates horror, because I have nightmares from it, please let them know. Let them come to the chat. Let them just revel in my terror. But anyway, we're going to finish up tonight. Once again, you can always show up. I always appreciate it. no matter what, no matter when, no matter how long you're in the chat, if you're a little flush in cash and you want to support me, think about a subscription. I don't push it too hard, but I would love to see you here, and I would love you to be able to see me without the ads. So, and if you're able to throw me a buck, I really do appreciate it. I have thought of doing something like making a Patreon or a Ko-Fi or something, so then you guys can support me in other ways other than a sub to Amazon, because I only get 50%. At the rate I am, I'll only get half your money. Amazon will get the other, Twitch will get the other bit, which is sometimes not particularly viable. But hey, if you do like Lucian did, if you have a Prime account and you're able to give me a free sub, do that. You get one for free every month, so you're already paying for it. Might as well. Anyway, that's me. That's enough of my sellout talk. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. Helldivers is having a bit of an issue with their with the game right now. It's having weird glitches and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to be putting Helldivers off. Even in my off time, I'm trying not to play it because it's just frustrating to play. Even though they're eventually back, they're actually in the fighting the Illuminate this week. So I will be putting on another Battlefield type game of some sort. I need to look and see what I have. If we're playing something, it might be Verdun. It might not. I don't know. I'll need to see what I have in terms of Battlefield stuff, and that will be our thing that we're doing, swapping in between Helldivers 2 and something else. So I will just have to see what it is. I'm not sure what it will be, but I'll surprise you guys. Who knows? Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow for the next stream. I hope your week has been going okay so far. I really hope it's turning autumn. I hope we start seeing some color soon, and I mean, that would be lovely. Autumn is my favorite time of year. It gets to the point where you're wearing, you're crunching through leaves, you're seeing autumn colors. You get into some of the more interesting holidays as well, and it just kind of a winding down. You get out of the hot temperatures and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm rambling now, so I will say good night. Take care. I hope to see you in my stream soon. Good night.